NC State fans right now, I think, are experiencing an offseason unlike one that I can ever remember. Growing up an NC State fan, the adage is always, State can't have nice things. We always lose the games we're supposed to win. We just don't get it done in big situations. Certainly, we're not in the running for conference championships. Certainly, we're not in the running for the college football playoff. Historically, that's not what NC State is, and the numbers bear that out, being that we've only had one 10-win season in school history. But over the past few years, things have been changing a bit around the NC State program. Dave Doeren has the team now to a point where consistently 9 wins, potentially even 10 wins, is the expectation year in and year out, regardless of team situation. We saw that this past year, 2023. It was considered a rebuilding season, and they go and win 9 games. Had a chance at 10 in the bowl game against Kansas State, ultimately came up short. But like I said, State can't have nice things. So, of course, they weren't going to beat Kansas State in the bowl game for a 10-win season. They had a chance the year prior in the COVID situation where UCLA and State were going to meet in an Out West bowl game. And then because of COVID, UCLA pulls out. We don't get to play the game, don't get the chance to go for 10 wins. But Dave Doeren has the program turned around well and truly. They're now, I think, a consistently upper echelon program in the ACC. And dare I say it, this is going to sound blasphemous to State fans because we just don't get our hopes up for anything because, like I said, we can't have nice things. But this feels like an SEC program in the ACC right now. Here's what I mean by that. It's a team that plays good defense year in and year out. Tony Gibson, probably one of the 5 best defensive coordinators in college football. It's been a consistent theme over the past few seasons that regardless of personnel, and the personnel has been very, very good. You've had some great players on the roster. But regardless of who's playing, the defense, it's a opportunistic defense. It's a defense that pressures opponents' quarterbacks, that creates chaos and havoc for opposing offenses. It's a very difficult defense to go up against for a college offense. The problem has been the offense has not been as dominant as the defense. And you've had over the past couple of years, especially, where your defense is carrying you, but it's a low ceiling team. They're sort of like Iowa. Iowa's going out and winning 9-10 games a season, but their offense is horrific. It's because their defense is good enough to beat 9-10 teams on their schedule just by itself. Well, now State is consolidating their NIL programs. They're making a push in the NIL department, and that has translated to the 9th best transfer portal class in going into the 2024 season. You go and add players like Grayson McCall at quarterback. You get a stud quarterback, frankly, in Grayson McCall. You go get running backs, Jordan Waters from Duke, Dalen Smothers from Oklahoma. You go get tight end Justin Jolie from UConn. You go get Wesley Grimes from Wake Forest. You go get stud receiver prospect Noah Rogers from Ohio State. It's a team that finally feels like there's momentum to the point where this could be a really, really tough out in 2024. You go look at the schedule here for the Wolfpack, and there's only 2 games that I think, frankly, are even question marks right now. You've got Tennessee, September 7th in Charlotte. That's a Tennessee team that I expect to be a good football team next year. You've also got Clemson at Clemson. That's always a tough game. It doesn't matter if Clemson is having a down year. It's tough to beat Clemson in South Carolina. That's a tough place to play. So you've got those 2 games that I think are probably coin flips. Outside of that, Western Carolina, win. Louisiana Tech, the Northern Illinois. Let's be honest there. Cal, Georgia Tech, Duke, Stanford, Syracuse, Wake Forest, Carolina. Outside of Tennessee and Clemson, where's the losses? If State plays how they have played the past couple of years. And then now with the boost on offense, you have Casey Concepcion coming back. You have Grayson McCall coming in. You have Justin Jolie, Noah Rogers, Wesley Grimes, Jordan Waters, Dalen Smothers. Add in a couple offensive linemen as well. This is an offense that should put up points next season in the ACC. And this is a defense that, regardless of personnel, I know you lose Shaheem Battle, you lose CJ Clark to the portal to Miami, you lose Aiden White to the portal. He hasn't committed yet. You lose some stud players on defense, and Peyton Wilson goes to the draft. But honestly, you just expect the defense is going to figure it out with a coordinator like Tony Gibson, who has proved year over year to be so good, so scheme sound, so difficult to prepare for opponents. This is an NC State team that should win 10 games, that should be in contention for an ACC championship in 2024. Now that you have gotten the momentum, you have developed the Utah type program in the ACC where it doesn't really matter who's lining up, who's lacing it up for the Wolfpack. Year over year, it's 8-9 wins. That's been the case over the past half decade. And I think now the program, now that the NIL situation has sorted itself out, this is a program that can take that leap into becoming an elite program in the ACC. They're built on the right things. They're built on tough defense, having an identity, and now you add in with getting a new offensive coordinator this past season, Robert Anae, adding in these skill position players for Robert Anae to toy around with on the offensive side of the ball. You pair that with what we've already got on defense, and this is a team that could be really special in 2024. Now, like I said at the beginning, State can't have nice things. So should we expect this? Probably not. We probably should have learned our lesson the first 2,000-fold times we have been in this situation. But that being said, this is potentially new waters for NC State fans. 2024 is a peak pinnacle season for what NC State could be. The narrative could be shifting a little bit in 2024 about what NC State football is. And I think they could make the leap into being perhaps a Florida State, a Clemson, a program in the ACC that is perennially competing for ACC championships. This year, though, 2024, with this great 9th-ranked transfer portal class, with what they've been doing in recruiting high school prospects, with what they've been doing scheme-wise, getting in the right coordinators, allowing Dave Doran to be the CEO of this NC State program. There's an opportunity. Now, will it happen? Will it pan out? I don't know. But the pieces are there for State to make a massive run in 2024.